Hello everyone, welcome to the English Matters grammar lesson for each one of us. In today's lesson, I'm going to discuss a very important topic, that how would you find complement in a given sentence. So before I start the lesson, do subscribe it and press on the bell icon for getting regular updates of all the lessons I keep uploading on my channel. So let's get started. Now, when you want to find a complement in a sentence, you got to do a few things. First thing first is read the sentence. Read the sentence, decide the verb, and you have to choose and decide whether it is a linking verb or an action verb. So you have to decide on this particular point first. Since you have discovered the verb, now if you have call it to be a main verb. Suppose main verb is what? When the subject does something. Okay, when a subject is doing something, in that case that is called main verb. And if you have found the main verb, it means you're struggling further to find the verb complement, because main verb follows the verb complement. Now, what do we mean by verb complement? It means in that sentence, either you're going to find the direct object or the combination of direct object and the indirect object. Do remember that we cannot find the indirect object all by itself in a sentence. We need to have the direct object, then only it is possible, depending on the sentence, to find the indirect object. A sentence can only have direct object, or it can have the combination of direct object and indirect object, and these two objects are called verb complements. Alright, but in case you have not found the main verb, but you have discovered the sentence has got linking verb or the helping verb, in that case do not worry about the verb complement. The moment you have found the linking verb, your direction is changed. You're finding for the subject complement. Now, subject complement can be decided in two ways. Subject can be complemented by a noun or the adjective. If it is being complemented by noun, we call it predicate nominative, or if it is being complemented by an adjective, we call it predicate adjective. So these are the few tips you can always keep it in your mind while deciding on the verb complement or the subject complement. Did you get it? If you have not, you can always come back to this particular page and keep revising it till you get the concept. Let's go further and look at this particular structure. Just to help you with, I'll quickly explain it. How does it look like? Complements. You're trying to find the complements. So you have to struggle hard to find the main verb or the helping verb. Main verb is also called action verb. Helping verb, the other name is linking verb. So if you get to discover the main verb or action verb, you will find direct object or indirect object depending on the subject. This is the abbreviated form. The full form is right below. If you have found the linking verb in the sentence, it is said that you have to find the subject complement. Subject complement can be noun or the adjective. If it is noun, then you call it predicate nominative. If it is adjective, you call it predicate adjective. We will get to know by few examples, don't worry. Phrases, the one thing is to remember, the phrases is not a part of complement. Neither it is a verb complement nor a subject complement. So the moment you see phrases, you remove that part. Consider that part not to be a part of sentence as long as you are deciding on the complement or direct object, indirect object, or the subject complement. Okay, you'll keep it separate just for a moment. I'm not asking you to remove it from the sentence. No, just for your understanding, consider that phrases not to be part of complement. Alright. Indirect objects, just I told you just a moment ago that it is not possible to find on its own. It will only be found in the sentence in the presence of direct object. This is another point to remember. It will not be after the direct object, because after the direct object, the indirect object becomes some kind of phrase. So not possible to find the indirect object after the direct object. Okay, let's quickly go through few examples. Alright, now look at this. The pen is expensive. The pen is expensive. Now you have found the verb is. What sort of verb is this? It's a linking verb. I'll just tell you the basic linking verb. All the helping verbs like is, am, are, was, were, been. These are few linking verbs, easy to identify. In this case, you can remove the linking verb for a moment, you can just understand this is to be the equal sign. So if you write this, the pen equal expensive, still the pen expensive, it makes sense. It means you're talking about the quality of the pen, it is expensive. What do I mean by saying that? It means even if you remove the linking verb from the sentence, still the sentence would hold meaning. But if you remove the main verb, the sentence will go all haywire, it would not stand any meaning. Alright, so here in this case, this is expensive, talking about the state of being. The pen is, it's a costly pen, it's expensive, so expensive becomes the adjective. So here this particular complement is the predicate adjective and expensive is the complement to the pen. Alright, how about this one? The pen writes well. Now in this case, the verb is writes. What sort of verb is this? Is a linking verb or main verb? You say, because whenever subject does something, it is called main verb. So in this case, main verb, so it is called the main verb, and after that we don't get to see the pen writes what, to whom. No, well is the adverb of manner, talking about the, it's talking about the way the pen writes. How about this particular sentence? Alright, look at this. The pen writes a story by itself. Let's find the verb. Okay, writes is a verb. What sort of verb? You would say it's a main verb because pen is doing something. Correct. Pen is right. To find the, now after you found the main verb, I told you that you will struggle to find the verb complement. Either it is in the form of direct object or the combination of direct and indirect object. Okay, so the pen, so to find the direct object, you have to ask questions with the main verb by putting what or whom. So the writes what or writes whom. In this case, we are getting the answer for what. Writes what? The pen writes a story. So story is the direct object in this sentence. By itself, we'll remove it because it's not a complement. The only complement is story. And what sort of complement it is? Direct object. Verb complement, direct object. Okay, how about this one? The pen writes me a magical story to present it on birthday. Okay, writes is the main verb because pen is doing something. Good. Writes what? To find the direct object, we're getting this answer, story. Story becomes the direct object. Very good. And let's ask a question. Writes for whom? Or writes for what? So we are getting the answer for writes for whom? Me. So me is the indirect object and it is right before the direct object. So this is how you find the direct object and indirect object, because you discovered that writes to be the main verb. Alright. How about this one? They live in a bungalow. They is subject, is doing something, performing something. What? Living. Live. Live is the main verb. Do we find in a bungalow? It's a phrase. What sort of phrase? Prepositional phrase. So we do not consider to be the complement because any kind of phrase would not be called complement. So we have got the subject verb combination, it's a main verb, and in a bungalow is the prepositional phrase, it is not a complement. Alright, how about this one? Ravi wants to buy a car for his family. Ravi wants to buy, Ravi wants to do something, right? To buy a car for his family. Now here wants, what? Wants is the main verb, is wanting, he is desiring something. So Ravi wants, it's not talking about the state of mind or state of being of Ravi. Ravi is performing something, so wants become the main verb. Ravi wants what? To buy a car. So to buy a car is the answer to this question. So to buy a car is the direct object. Or also remember that it is to plus infinitive. Yeah, remember to plus v, first form of the verb, to go, to buy, to dance. This kind of infinitives, infinitive verbs are also called the complement in terms of, because it's complementing the main verb, that is called direct object. Alright, one last example very quickly. They have been worrying since January. They have been worrying since January. So since January, remove it, is a phrase, will not consider this to the part of complement, but they have been worrying. Now worrying is talking about the state, have been is the verb. What kind of verb? Is it some kind of action? No, it's just linking the pronoun subject they with the state of being worrying. So they worrying, they seem to be worrying, they are worried. So have been is just a linking verb, and worrying is the complement. In what context? It's talking about the state of being or the subject here, and it is modifying it. So it's an adjective, so it is called predicate adjective. Alright, so I hope this entire list of examples help you to understand the concept how to find complement in a sentence. If you have your own question, do write these questions in the comment section below. I'll come back to you with a new lesson very soon. Until then, you keep learning, keep revising, take care, have a great day. Bye bye.